Nerfcast. This is Shawn.
And this is Josh.
With B.F.U.
And today we're actually trying a different setup, so you can hopefully see us on webcam. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Welcome to B.F.U's Nerf Cave, folks.
The Nerf Cave with all the beautiful decorations in the background. And then also joining us today, we have the ever illustrious My Last Start.
Hello, guys. How are we doing?
Hey, doing good.
Fantastic. It's been a long time since we had you back on the show, so we're very happy to have you back over here.
It has been. I know you guys have been really busy with all the fame and stardom you've picked up. I thought you forgot about me.
No. I think it's more I was terrified to bring you back on the show because if you're like in the middle of telling us brilliant information about Nerf and the audio cuts out, I'll feel like the worst person in the world. So we've kind of ripped off your setup that you use for your podcast and using it here. So if it doesn't work, I'm blaming you.
Actually, that's not true. I actually had a dream that you guys did a podcast like this, and I thought it'd be awesome if I did mine like this. And then I actually did this before you did it, before I dreamed you did it.
It came to me in a dream.
There we go.
Yeah.
I remembered in another dream.
So really, I did steal your idea.
Well, artists steal from each other all the time, so that's fine.
Prince.
Flash. You said like Flash. Yeah, you said Prince, but you said like in the Flash.
You were supposed to go in a little red Corvette, but that's okay.
That's fine. All right, so let's get into it because we have a lot of news to cover today, and we're excited to get your opinions on this too, Ash. So let's start off with the first thing we have on our list.
Basically, we're going to be going over the London Toy Fair.
Yep, that's basically it.
Let's face it.
We
didn't. So everybody else talked about stuff on the blogs, and we were like, no, we just got to wait till the podcast. Don't post anything.
And now we have a tidal wave of information. So first up, the Slingfire. The Slingfire is going to be a Winchester-style rifle for the Zombie Strike line.
Yep.
Estimated retail price is, Josh?
Oh, I don't even know off the top of my head.
$30, right?
I'm pretty sure it's $30.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to say it and be wrong. Interesting action. Obviously, Ash, you've checked this out. You've seen it. We want to hear your opinion on it. What do you think about the Slingfire?
I'm really excited for this blaster. I mean, it's the first of its design in the whole of the Nerf range, and really one of the most exciting things is a lot. I mean, I said that you're able to dual wield it. Everyone was like, "Really? Are you sure?" And UK Nerf was able to get down there. I wasn't able to get down to the Toy Fair this year, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing I didn't have to sign an NDA. Bad thing I didn't get to play with the blasters in person. But he said pretty much that, you can do the whole Arnie sort of fire and sort of sling cock it and then fire it again. Yeah, exactly as B.F.U is showing you with the rough cut there. I was worried he was going to fly out his hand and either knock Josh out or slam Shawn right in the face.
It's okay if he knocks Josh out.
But it didn't. It didn't. It's all good. But I'm excited for this blaster. I think for me it's slightly edging ahead of the Demolisher. I'm pumped for this blaster.
Nice.
And speaking of the Demolisher, I think that was the next big bit of news. But before we get to that, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the Slingfire. So B.F.U, what do you think about this blaster?
I want 6. I want 1 to put a barrel extension on and make it look like a real Winchester.
Mm-hmm.
I want another one to paint. And I want other ones in case I break one trying to dual wield it. And I am officially renaming it the Foam Howitzer. And if you ever have watched the movie Tombstone, if you haven't, go watch it. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a scene where Wyatt Earp tells Doc Holliday to get on the street howitzer, which is a Winchester rifle, lever action.
Yep.
It is the Foam Howitzer from here on out. I love it. I want it so bad.
Oh, yes. Okay, Josh, how about you? What do you think about it?
It looks cool. I really like that they're doing something different with the lever action. I just like when they do something different with blasters.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be the most tactical thing that we've seen come out.
Blasphemy.
I'm just saying the Demolisher is probably going to be more tactical.
More blasphemy.
But I like it. It looks like a lot of fun.
I think what I like about most is innovative design. I've been seeing this a lot with a lot of the zombie strike blasters. It feels like that's where Nerf goes to like test out their new strange ideas because it's like, hey, a post-apocalyptic zombie universe, you're just gonna piece whatever you can together and make it work. So I feel like that's what they're trying with the zombie line to give that feel. Like we can be more creative here, and then maybe with the elite line, they are trying to go more tactical.
If they can make one more zombie blaster, we are all set. So we got a revolver,
Yes.
Mhm.
right? Western Prime style.
Oh, which
We-
revolver is it?
Oh, it's the hammer shot.
Hold it to the camera, B.F.U. Show off your paint job.
So
That looks awesome.
it's Olympic season, as you can tell. So I was feeling very patriotic when I painted my blaster. We got a Winchester. We have a lever action style rifle now.
Mm-hmm.
All we need is a manual rotating Gatling gun. I mean, like barrels
Oh,
this way.
hell yeah.
That would be. Then the Wild West is complete, and we can have a shootout.
That is true.
That is another thing. I feel like a lot of the blasters that come on the zombie strike line are Wild West blasters, just painted zombie apocalypse colors.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's amazing.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's a good
in the
thing.
zombie apocalypse, we are going to go back to the 1890s. That is what's gonna
Which
happen.
would be really interesting if you found out that there was supposed to be a whole West themed set of blasters, and they were just like, nah, zombies are way more popular than cowboys right now.
We need Will Smith to make another Wild Wild West movie.
You know what would be
to
cool
change
too?
that.
Like if they started doing regional stuff with this. So like if for Ash, whatever the UK used in World War One, or like that style of blaster, like modeled after, like per country, that would be so cool.
They make a Black Adder themed Nerf line.
Yeah.
Uh,
Was it the Mark 1 rifles? Yeah.
Yeah, so the Slingfire, there's a whole bunch of blasters coming out in fall. I'm excited about that blaster. The whole flick action that UK Nerf talked about, that's awesome to me. Without that, I would not be nearly as hyped about the blaster as I am now.
I was. I still wanted to hold it and just lever down and see how fast I could fire it.
Yeah, but are you still happy about how the Sledgefire came out?
So here's the thing.
Mm.
I got a very bad Sledgefire the first time
Mhm.
and a better one the second time. After seeing it the second time, I'm a little more impressed. After seeing, and I don't know the person's name, so I'm going to apologize. Someone on YouTube did a mod where they put a bigger catch spring in it, and it now theirs ejects the dart holder all the way out, so the shell gets completely ejected out of the blaster. After seeing that, I want to do that mod. I think the blaster's more effective if you're ejecting shells.
High rate of fire. You don't have to sit there and like kind of pick at the shell to like get
Right.
it out and then place. It's like, no, just pop it out, get on the floor. I'll come back for it later. Hope I got a 3D printer to print out more of them, but
yeah.
The problem is the rough cut's such a superior shotgun that it doesn't really. That's the problem. The rough cut didn't exist. Everybody would think would like Sledgefire more.
That's true.
The thing either I'm not using the Sledgefire right, or there's something wrong with my Sledgefire, or there's a design flaw. I found when you open the blaster up, you put the cartridge in, or the flechette, the shell, and then you snap it back, and then you fire the blaster. Then when you go to eject the round, say like you fired all three rounds, and then when you go to remove it and you close the shell, you close the blaster and store it away, it's still primed.
Yeah.
So you have to dry fire the blaster.
Yeah, I did that. I ruined one by leaving it for like 2 months primed.
Yeah, that is sort of a problem with it. I mean, I guess Nerf doesn't see it as a problem because with the ARs, like dry firing it stock shouldn't be too big of a problem in their mind. I don't I don't use it. No.
But as a fun blaster, I mean, they seem to be using the whole zombie strike range as their fun experimental range where they can do all these quirky, funky things. But with the elite line, they're a bit more conventional, a bit more. These are the limits of what we can and can't pass, because then everyone's gonna be like, we're hating this. So I think we've still got to see a lot more to come from the Zombie Strike range. I would love to see B.F.U's full barrel Winchester.
Yeah, I can't. I don't care how bad it shoots. I can't wait.
I think we're all excited for that mod. I mean, do you guys think? I mean, here's the thing. We're going to go into all the other blasters soon. A lot of blasters are coming out in fall, but it seems like it's just one blaster per line. Do you guys think we're going to be seeing multiple Zombie Strike blasters this year, or pretty much just the Slingfire and that's it?
I think they just said that there was going to be like one for the Zombie Strike line.
They're supposed to be the flagship Zombie Strike blaster, right? I think that's what someone said. So the Slingfire may not be it. I think we'll see our first flywheel Zombie Strike blaster, which will make me, honest to God, will make me kind of sad. Because Zombie Strike has stuck with, unless it's a Gatling gun, then I'll absolutely lose it. The entire one podcast will be talking about that thing and going jumping up and down.
It's gonna be like Tom Cruise on a couch.
Yeah, I just don't.
That was for Rob, SBNC, by the way.
I like the Old West theme they're doing with most of the Zombie Strike, with the exception of a couple blasters. And I would like to see them continue to push the envelope of how you can prime something. So if you think about Zombie Strike, minus the side strike and the little vortex gun, we got the Sledgefire, very unique prime. We got the Hammer Shot, probably maybe the best priming mech they've ever come out with for Nerf. And then we now have the Slingfire. So 3 very unique priming blasters. I'd like to see them continue that with the Zombie Strike line.
How about you, Ash? What do you predict?
I'm with B.F.U on this. The whole Zombie Strike line, I don't think would feel right if they put like a flywheel blaster or something like in there. I mean, the whole sort of lever action, the whole sort of snap and pump, the action on the Sledgefire, the whole revolver action on the Hammer Shot, it just wouldn't make sense, really. Okay, yeah, the whole zombie apocalypse type thing, and it's all the blasters so far seem to be like, it's all kind of like stuff that's been put together quickly rather than standard military weapons that you would expect, like elite range stuff. I think if they put a flywheel in there or full auto, it would just ruin things.
So Ash, back to my Gatling gun idea. What if it was a hand crank and that pulled a plunger tube back as you cranked it, and then it shot the dart out? How freaking awesome would that be?
I would so get my Will Smith thing on and be like, woo! With the whole Gatling thing. That would be awesome, seriously, but
that was
no.
for free, Nerf.
That was for free.
Also, Nerf, please don't invent a giant walking spider to terrorize us to use the Gatling gun on. Josh will freak out.
There will be problems
There will
at the
be
Nerf
fire.
factories. Yep. Your super soakers will be turned into flamethrowers. So I will use one product line to fight another.
It's funny you say about the whole vehicle thing. We're seeing quite a few new companies coming out with like these little remote control RC vehicles. You guys did a review on one the other day.
Yep.
I believe that Nerf will be releasing their own style of one of these foam firing vehicles. No details on that any further, but they are looking to release one of their own. There's a guy on Kickstarter actually who was making one of, I think, the spider thing with the revolving turrets.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. I saw it.
I
have to know my enemies.
He was making those to hopefully be a success on Kickstarter, then put it to sale. Then he had some legal wrangle with a company he wasn't allowed to name for legal reasons, but they were like, whoa, what do you think you're doing? But he seems to be, actually, I was in contact with him for quite a bit, hopefully trying to get one of these to review, and then he just went cold, and he's never responded back to me after he said, there's like a bit of legal wrangle in there. So I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but expect to see something from Hasbro soon.
Think Hasbro has leg breakers, like professional ones?
Well, they sent them over to Pocket, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Because if they're hiring, I mean, I'm a large gentleman.
The Nerf Goon Squad.
We can be friends.
Look, it's like Nerf. Just pay me in hammer shots. And just one whose legs need to be broken, we'll take care of it.
They would have to paint me in hammer shot reshells.
Yes.
Oh, the Nerf Squad.
New design every month. I don't care if it's bad or good. I mean, I'll take a bio shot for God's sake. I'll make it.
Wow.
Every podcast.
Every podcast. Never forget.
What is that hideous monster?
Oh.
Oh.
So hurtful. Listen, this was my first attempt at a paint job.
It's it feels so weird. It's rough.
You know what?
What was that?
I wanted. You know what? I wanted to do like the exact mod that you've done on that hammer shot with the cutting the bottom grill bit thing off.
Whoa. Oh.
No, this is a sweet revenge.
That's a sweet revenge, actually. It's hard to tell with the paint job, but
Oh, okay.
So I used textured moss paint that you use for crafting. So it's textured, and then I wrapped the handle in burlap and fake wood. It's a horrible mod, but it was my first one, and we've obviously come a long way from that to this. So,
Yeah.
But it was my first attempt. I did it on purpose to piss off Reddit. Like, that was my goal.
B.F.U feeds off their rage. It sustains him. It gives him power.
So what do we got next on the to discuss list?
The Thunder Fury.
Oh, the Mega Thunderbow.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Thunder Fury is a World of Warcraft weapon.
No.
It's a legendary.
We're doing these in the order that BFU wants them, I think.
Yes. The Thunderbow.
Ash, you go first.
Yep. Thoughts on the Thunderbow?
Yeah, sure. When this was unveiled, I think it caught everyone off guard. A, because we were all eyes on Baidu, waiting for leaks, or Taobao to see them on sale for about $160 a shot. But no, like Nerf was like, yeah, here's a new blaster coming. I think everyone kind of expected it, but everyone thought it would come out in the range, a bow, but they weren't really expecting to see one in the mega range. I believe we here in the UK and probably Europe, we're going to be getting like the nerfed version, 85 feet or something, but you guys will be sticking with 100 feet. But I think it should be a fun blaster. I do. It's more manly. It's bigger than the Zing stuff, so bring it on.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm gonna let Josh and Shawn go before me. So we'll keep it up. We'll go down, and it's a compliment sandwich. We'll bring it back up.
Yep. So Josh, you can go first.
Okay, it's awesome.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you didn't think I was going to do that.
Way to throw me a curveball.
I mean, it looks cool. It looks interesting and fun as far as being super tactical on the battlefield. Probably not. It's really going to sort of depend on how big it is and what it's like when it's in my hand. What I said when I first saw it was it looks like a sunfish. Like a sunfish blaster. It could be really cool as long as it doesn't like really get bad ranges. You know, it is what it is.
No, I agree. If it's getting anywhere on par with the Magnus, then I think it's going to be a fine blaster. I do like that it's holding more rounds than the Magnus. It's definitely a plus right there. I would say the only knock I'd have against it is the way it actually primes, because basically the arms of the bow cock back, lock in. That's how you prime the blaster, and then it fires. It seems like a lot of work to make something act like a bow when realistically it's a blaster.
Well, there's no trigger on it, right?
Nope.
You just once that big top bow arm is down, once you let go of it, it snaps back forward, right? And it just goes.
That's right.
Yeah.
It works just like a regular Heartbreaker bow. I don't know. I mean, the the real bow action, I think Hasbro might be thinking that's very girly. The guys probably don't want that when it comes to them and their bow. I don't. It's odd. It is weird that they've done it that way for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like it for mod potential because if the top arm primes the whole thing and releases it, that means I can string multiple together, smack a bar through the top of that one lever,
Yes.
and sit here and just lever a bunch of them like this.
Hey,
That could be really cool.
actually, Rob over at Southern Brisbane Nerf Club, he's got a very interesting project. I won't say what he's doing, but it's mighty interesting, and I'm excited to see what he does with the Mega Thunderbox, as he calls it. In Australia, Thunderbox is the bathroom.
I get it.
So he's gonna go to the bathroom on the blasters. Got it. I own all of these. I have marked them with my musk.
Oh.
B.F.U looks a little disgusted right now. Josh understands the importance of the flowchart.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so I guess that's all the thoughts we really have on that. It's going to be the third Mega Blaster to come out after the Magnus and the Centurion. At least for now, we don't know about any other blasters coming out. To me, it's a step up from the Centurion. Hopefully, it's on par with the Magnus. If it's better, I'll be happy about that. But you know, I feel like the Mega line needs more blasters. There needs to be more of an initial rush, especially to get people motivated to go buy this new ammo type. The Vortex line came out with a full line of blasters when it first came out, so
That's true.
you didn't feel bad about buying Vortex discs. If you didn't like one blaster, you had 3 or 4 other blasters to go on at the time.
Yeah, unlike the Zombie Strike line, which looks like it's only getting like one, I'm hoping that the Mega line gets quite a few blasters this year because they really need to step it up.
Maybe they're piecing it out little by little because of all the Vortex blasters that are still on the shelf.
That's true. They could be picking their fights a little bit more and trying to pick out which blasters are going to sell better. But at the same time, if nobody wants to adopt any of the blasters because there's not a wide enough range, then it's kind of dead in the water.
Yeah.
Maybe a scattergun effect works better because, like, hey, let's throw a bunch of blasters out there and see which ones take off, and then we can design new blasters based on what's popular.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's my theory.
When the Centurion first came out, it was pretty much probably more of a disappointment than a success. There are people that say, never had a jam, no problems, mine shoots fine, but majority of fans, I think, because they were just disenchanted with the whole thing. You know, it's not getting the super ranges that the prototypes were. Toy laws, whatever, it got stripped back. Even for the US toy laws, it seemed to be a bit too much. But I mean, the Magnus, everyone seems to be pretty much loving that right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been integrated in a lot of blasters. Yeah, you know, the Thunderbow has a lot to kind of live up to and follow on from, really.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. But Nerf is going pretty bow happy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Katniss Abernathy in the Avengers.
Abernathy.
Between Hawkeye and Katniss Abernathy. That's
And that Arrow TV show that the kids
Oh,
all
yeah.
just seem to love.
and Amel over in Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
It's the golden age of archery.
Yes.
That it is.
And I'm excited about that.
So going off that archery, we want to hit it?
Oh, we can hit it.
Let's do it. The new Rebelle Agent Bow.
I like how you guys look at me.
Yeah, I'm a bow guy.
I'm not really too thrilled about it. I think it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, that sounds
Not really.
Bow-
It's
bow
freaking
hipster.
awesome. I am so happy about this blaster coming out. You know why? Because Nerf for a while now has been coming out with blasters that are like bows. They're very similar to bows. They look like bows. They do not behave like bows at all, in my opinion. That's why I love Zing bows so much, because it is a glorified slingshot, but at least it makes it feel like you're firing bows and arrows, and that is fun to me. I enjoy that so much. So when I saw this come out and I see, oh, It's like arms and strings and actual arrow-looking arrows that look even kind of cartoonish in nature, like you would see like Hawkeye or Green Arrow firing this at someone and seeing a net fly out of it. I am so excited about that. The competition that it's giving to Zing is going to be good because it's going to hopefully drive down prices and make them more competitive on their pricing for extra arrows. I was looking at some of the refill packs that Hasbro sells separately for some of their other arrow type blasters like the Blazing Bow, and you can get a 3-pack for $5 online.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, when I see that, I'm like, please, please let the Rebelle arrows be that cheap, because that way I can buy 30 of those and have a full quiver full of arrows and be competitive for cheaper than what it cost me for Zing. And maybe the ranges won't be as good, but I would say that the design so far on just the Agent Bow we've seen is very pretty, but just going off of what they've been doing with the Rebelle Heartbreaker Bow, I can see different colors and different patterns coming out very easily. Besides purple, you might get like gold, hot pink, whatever. I'm happy with purple, so I'm already set because that's Hawkeye colors. So I'm already good on everything I need out of that line. So I am very excited about this bow. I'm super excited. So, Ash, how do you feel about it?
I think it's funky. One thing that really sort of got my sort of interest was when Hasbro normally bring out a new blaster. A good example being the Mega line. Everyone was like, "Hell no! I don't want those Mega Elite Mega Darts, the Mega Whistlers. Waste of money." And I think pretty much battle-wise, people use regular Nerf blasters and they do Vortex for their battles. So there's the whole sort of scavenging thing. People don't want to run around or pack different types of ammo. They just want to keep it simple when they go on battles. People are happy with the new Rebelle Agent Bow ammo. It looks different. It looks cool. I think it'll be a hit. With the guys, they'll just paint it, mod it. I like the whole elite. I like the whole elite sensor. The pinpoint sight. I'm not sure how good, or rather how powerful or useful that is. It's a nice function, but yeah, I think it'll do well.
I agree. I like the fact that, like Shawn was saying, Zing's getting some competition because I do love the Zing bows, but it's nice to see, competition drive prices down and make everybody sort of try a little bit harder to get better ranges and make a better product. We're the only ones who benefit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to get worse for us.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to see some of the ammo in person to really know what it's like, but I think they're on a good track here. I think they really need to come out with a bow that shoots elites well, just to have something in their arsenal, because everything else is like a crossbow or shoots a different kind of ammo.
Hey, the Heartbreaker shoots them just fine after a little bit of work.
No, I just mean that feels nice when you shoot it like a regular bow. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the sight.
Mm-hmm.
I just like things that light up and do stuff.
And flip.
And flip. But it does look like something Hawkeye would have on his bow.
Yes.
Like a laser sight. Yeah, I need a laser sight for my bow.
Mm-hmm. I need it for attacking Predator.
It's like I'm going to be the lone small dissenting voice in this group. So the bow looks cool. I'm worried about the arrow shafts being super thin and easily breakable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very concerned about it only being powered by that silicon string.
Mm-hmm.
That is my biggest concern. Like, will they sell replacement strings? If you break your string, how easy is it to fix? Does a string wear out over time? Does it get stretched out so it doesn't work? Those are my concerns with that style of blaster.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that with Zing too, where the tubing snaps.
Yes.
But it's just surgical tube, so you can go get it.
Yeah.
Replace it.
Yeah, that's true.
But it looks mad cool.
It does look really cool.
To me, if you're using a modified blaster that is getting the same ranges you would get out of a Zing bow, I've seen like plenty of modded blasters break. So obviously, it's no good when a stock blaster is breaking.
Right.
But I feel like it's cheap enough to where I'd be like, oh, it's $20. I'll just go pick up another bow. My bad.
That's true.
And I can't remember the price that Agent Bow was coming out at. It couldn't be more than $30 though.
Yeah, but 30. So
No, think it's I think it's 24.99.
See, it's $5 cheaper, so that's
Boom.
another reason Josh likes it now.
There we go.
I'm just worried about people snapping that.
Yeah, I can see that because we don't know what the material is made out of yet. It works
Right.
well with Zing because it's elastic, so it's designed to be stretched. The material they use for the string might be really bad, and that would be really disappointing.
It's very possible.
I'm just being optimistic because I like the aesthetics of it.
It looks cool.
Yeah, and I mean, you do have the option of shooting a bow differently than a blaster. You can arc it and feel more natural just aiming your shots and with a dart. So
Oh, yeah.
with me, I'm just excited about the design and going a new direction because potentially if it does sell really well but they break easily, I can see Hasbro saying, you know what, let's redesign this and make it better and then sell a bunch of those.
I like it when Hasbro decides to take some chances and try things different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I think that the Slingfire, for example, was not a great blaster,
Mm-hmm.
but I commend them on taking the initiative and trying something different, and it's a fun little blaster, even if it's not the most tactical.
Correct.
So, you know,
Yes. Yes.
pretty nice.
And then that lull as we build up to probably, I would say the most anticipated blaster that's
For
been
many of us.
released for many of us is the Demolisher blaster. So this guy,
2-in-1.
yes, the
Not a strike free shell.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting
Would
that.
would we call the actually Ash? Are you familiar with the Unity system blasters where it's like the Hornet and the giant like missile launcher and all
Titan.
that?
The Titan.
The Titan.
Yes.
No, before my time.
So there's this blaster where it combines like 3 blasters in one, right?
Yeah, it's the Hornet, the Scout, and the Titan, I believe, all come in that pack.
And they called it like the Unity system. So when I
Yes.
see this where it's like 2 blasters in one, it kind of reminds me of the Unity system, except it sounds like that the rocket launcher is hard built into the blaster. It's not detachable. So I would love to hear your thoughts about the Demolisher, what you think. Do you like it? Do you see the Hasbro player base making this the blaster of the year? Just what are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a hit with a lot of people. Certainly the ones that aren't able to mod and create their own master keys. But even those that have created their own master keys, this brings something different to the table. I mean, a grenade launcher that's simply sort of a pump and fire mechanism, is a bonus. And certainly if you're running around on the field and that's all you need to do to pop off that round, that's I'm sure it'll be a saver for many people. With them pushing for 100 feet as a standard when it comes to the elite blasters, I think that's awesome. Elite blasters getting 75 feet, that is good. Of course, we all know that the shots are slightly angled, but to be achieving like 100 feet with regular elite darts, that's something special. I definitely think people will be picking up this blaster. I'm not too hot on the whole grenade launcher being integrated on this. It's still in prototype mode, so we can't really say too much. We can of course speculate, but I'm hoping they'll make the right move and have it removable.
Okay. So Josh, what are your thoughts on this blaster?
Oh, so I'm looking forward to this, and I'm not even a huge flywheel guy. I could tell it's just going to be one of those blasters, I think, that sort of changes the game. Much the way that the Rapid Strike did. Because even if it's semi or full, I know that there's sort of mixed feelings on what it's going to be when they finally bring it out. It's getting elite ranges at 100 feet now. I mean, that's already a huge game changer. If it's spitting out darts like the Rapid Strike, but at close to 100 feet, that's insane. And then I really like the addition of the rocket launcher or the grenade launcher because it's something that Nerf hasn't really done before, and we've been asking for underbarrel and things as a huge part of the community. So good on Nerf. I'm not a huge fan of the colors.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that.
You'll grow to like the creamsicle age.
No, see, I like. Oh, you don't have it here, but I like the rough cut that's white with the orange stripe. That's awesome. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I think that looks so nice. Look at this. The all orange with the white stripe. Nah, I'm not digging it.
Mm.
I'm not digging it at all.
Walmart now has the Strife, the OJ Strife in stock. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Orange juice.
When did this happen? Walmart over. Oh, we're making a trip after this podcast. I need an orange stripe in my life.
Yes.
But I
think we
mean,
all agree with that.
the price point is quite interesting. Just to go back, the Rebelle Agent Bow is $29.99.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that warrants enough people to pick it up. But the Demolisher is going to be $44.99.
Yeah.
$5 more than the Rapid Strike was.
So if they make it full auto, I feel like if people are paying $40 for the Rapid Strike, $45 to have the addition of a little grenade launcher,
Plus better range.
better range. It may or may not take double A's,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a stock with it, which you can swap off and put it on another blaster if you want, and swap your stock.
Hasbro UK confirmed that they will be going with a full auto on the Demolisher, and it will not be using 4 AA batteries. They're going to change the whole battery loadout. So I think they're getting feedback from somewhere. I'm not quite sure where, but yeah, they're listening to someone, so they're making the right choices.
So they're going to change it to C batteries instead of AA's?
I don't know what they will go. They'll probably go something with what the Rapid Strike was packing.
Oh, that's horrible.
Four C's, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Mhm.
horrible. That's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
You know what would be kind of cool, which obviously is never going to happen with a toy maker, but would be pretty cool? Rechargeable Nerf guns.
That would be cool.
You say that would never happen, but I don't know if that's true.
I don't know. I think especially Hasbro
hmm
in particular understands that the battery manufacturers like them, and they must have some sort of understanding that, hey, we help sell the batteries in your store. Toys R Us, you're getting accessory add-ons by buying these Nerf blasters. You make it rechargeable, you're cutting out a part of the retailer's business.
So,
internal rechargeable batteries aren't that cheap.
well, I mean, here's the thing.
About to.
I was watching Click Click Bamf has a review on. They also have another little tank that shoots darts. They're not compatible with Elite darts, but they put it up the other night. So I was looking through it, and they were saying one of the things that kind of sucks is it has a battery pack. So you open it up, you got to charge it for a couple of hours. It's an RC car, so it has an RC car battery pack.
Right.
Instead of using AA's or 9 volts or anything like that.
Mhm.
And they're like, first off, you got to charge it, which really sucks. And then B, it only lasts for like 20 minutes, and then you got to
Ooh.
charge it again. So even if it was something that you could take out and charge, I think the ability to just say, oh, I need to put in fresh batteries is really, really awesome, because most manufacturers probably aren't going to put out a battery pack for a toy. I mean, they're not even making shells for the Slingfire, so we probably wouldn't see a battery pack. But even if they did, you'd have to have like extras that are already pre-charged, and then they'd probably be expensive if you're just buying the battery pack. So,
Good point.
And Ash, you just broke my heart, by the way. I just want you to know that. You just changed my entire opinion of this blaster because it's not going to. It does.
But the interesting thing is that they keep mentioning a laser accessory for the Demolisher, but we've not seen any photos of any kind of laser accessory, which is really odd. I find that Hasbro would release a prototype, images of a prototype. They've never done that before. Whether or not they're sort of preempting the guys down in China, leaking stuff. But it just kind of goes against everything they've done to date with the whole sort of prototype and everything like that. I mean, they bust my balls pretty bad over the stuff last year at the toy fair that I played with and I saw, and it's just very, very odd. Very odd.
So let me ask you, do you think this change in marketing tactics is a good decision on their part, in your opinion?
I think it's good that I think it's weird that they go to big people like Kotaku and who are those other guys?
Popular Mechanics?
Popular Science, and then the other guys, I can't remember who they were. Um, you know, like the guy who had the prototype Demolisher was like, yeah, it looks cool, and yeah, get it. You know, it's like Tactical Tag, Mike over at Tactical Tag said, you know, he's probably, yeah, he's like, you know, he's probably more down with like spreadsheets and things like that. What does he know about blasters? If they send those prototypes to like the Nerf community, people who can get more passionate, more excited, and give them better feedback. You know, I understand now that they've got something in place where they can't take any sort of fan feedback, because if they make those changes, then the fan can say, I said you should make that change, you've made the change, give me some money. And then they'll be like, we can't do that. So
I mean, I guess the thing
that's
is,
my little rant.
fans can't back up their claims other than like, oh, well, I said you should do that, and it's like, well, that was a suggestion, not a. I guess whether we took it or not. I think honestly, the reason for sending to Popular Mechanics and things like that is just sort of to get the word out. I think that if you're not already part of the Nerf community, you know, they're trying to grow that audience and be like, look at how cool our stuff is now. Even if you don't know what Nerf is, or you only have like a very little contact with Nerf, you might be thinking that, you know, they're still getting 20 feet, and now they're like, oh, look at this thing, it's fully automatic, and it has a grenade launcher, and it's getting 100 feet. So these people that have no Nerf experience, or not a lot of Nerf experience, are going to look at this like, this is so cool, and it's a very large website, like you said, like Popular Mechanics or Kotaku or whatever, that also feeds into that target audience that they sort of can't hit with their commercials because they're trying to advertise towards kids and all that jazz. And like, well, we know a lot of teens and maybe college-age kids are reading Kotaku, and if they see that, they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll pick one up, and boom.
Or the person running the marketing department hasn't caught up with the times. So I work for a large conglomerate, very large, shall remain nameless company, and up until recently, we move like molasses when it comes to changing with the market trends. We actually put a strategy in place last year to where we now are very nimble. We're one of the 12 largest companies in the United States, right? One of the largest 20 in the world, and now we're nimble. But it took us 7 years to get nimble.
Right.
And that could be part of Hasbro's problem, is that they don't have anyone running that department that's thinking, you know, blog, thinking website, thinking YouTube yet. They're looking at the benefits, but that's not the world they grew up in or live in.
I don't know if that's true, because I mean, we've seen Hasbro reach out to blogs and YouTubers before, like Shining Foam and other people, just to help promote their product. They haven't created, you can tell by I would have expected more internally created things from Hasbro, like a whole department dedicated. So what changed my company was we developed a social media department. We literally have people that's all they do is read Yelp all day and send feedback to individual places about what Yelp said about them. We didn't have that years ago, and we have a social media department that all they do is monitor social media.
That's smart.
What's being said.
Right.
And I don't know if Hasbro's quite got there yet. So
yeah, I mean, they do have a lot of products, so even if they do, they're probably getting great feedback from My Little Pony, and they just don't hear anything bad about Nerf.
Bronies.
Hey, great job on the Rainbow Sparkle Alicorn design. Nailed it. 10 out of 10.
So let's finish off the review of the Demolisher. Go ahead, Shawn. Now that you know new information.
I'm very excited about this blaster. I think it's going to be like the Rapid Strike, well, it's going to be a little bit different than the Rapid Strike. I think for 2013, the Rapid Strike was the main blaster that year. That was the most game-changing. That was one of the most popular. Everyone just loved that blaster. I think going into that year, everyone thought the Centurion was going to be the big blaster. It was going to bring sniping to Nerf. We all know how that happened, so we won't go into too much detail. Also, the hammer shot. I feel it was like the indie hit.
So the reason I would say the hammer shot probably didn't do as well is because it's a Target exclusive.
Yeah.
That's true. If you're not,
it's like the Elite Alpha Trooper. You know, I mean, they're both great blasters, but they're exclusive to one retailer. So Nerf didn't make a commercial for it like they did the Rapid Strike, and they can't sell as many units because there's not targets everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't like the Rapid Strike.
Yeah, I mean, I don't run a Rapid Strike either, but I can see its value, definitely.
Yeah, no, it changed the game
Mhm.
and wasted a lot of darts.
I mean, we can talk in the gameplay tactics. I agree. I think a slower rate of fire is actually a little bit better because it means you're not firing an entire magazine in 2 seconds. So if you're laying down suppressing fire, it's more consistent over time. But hey, we're talking about the Demolisher, which is also full auto, so same basic principle there. I think the fact that it has better ranges is very exciting because it means Hasbro's taking a look at their parts and saying not necessarily what is the cheapest way we can make this blaster and going more towards how can we take stuff the community is doing and apply it to our blasters so they don't have to go in and do the mods themselves? How do we almost pre-mod these blasters to give the performance that the people want? So seeing that they didn't just come out with a basic Rapid Strike or a Strife reshell, and instead say we're going to change the internals, add new features to this blaster like the rocket launcher is amazing. And by the way, I just want to focus on how cool it is that the rocket launcher only takes one pump to prime fire, and it's still getting 40 to 50 feet.
Yeah.
And that's other bloggers have confirmed that too. That's not Hasbro saying 50 feet. That's
cool.
To me, that seems ridiculous because we've seen Busby procs out on the field and see people go just pumping it for days and not getting a lot of effective range out of it, or if they do, there's not a lot of accuracy behind it. Josh Rim.
Sorry, you're talking about pumping.
Yes, if go onto YouTube, look up Jengular. He's a friend of ours who does videos for Nerf, and that is where the infamous hammer shot video that we did is located.
Yep.
One of our buddies, Arjong, he's been on the podcast a couple times now. He has a pump blaster, and he started just pumping it for days trying to prime it. I like the idea that with this rocket launcher, it is a quick, almost better than having a secondary, because a secondary you have to take out of a holster, take out of a pocket. With this, it's attached to a blaster, like, oh, all a shot, someone's charging at me. In a second, you already have a big shot flying at them that'll slow them. It's the intimidation factor I talked about with the magnets. It's intimidating to see a rocket fly at you. You're instinctively going to say, I need to stop and dodge that.
Right.
I can't keep charging this guy right now.
I think it'll be great for people who run games where there are multiple lives, where they allow shields, because you can start to say this is a specialty ammo, we're going to have special rules, it breaks shields, or it takes all 3 of your lives, or, you know, different stuff like that. So
and it's great, really too, because the Demolisher, I think, is going to be a common enough blaster where you can say, okay, there are enough people on each team who do have the specialty ammo to have these game types and introduce these new rules.
Right.
It's not going to be like, okay, someone have a Titan on you, so I guess we can break the shield. Someone has to have the lame duty of doing that.
Right.
Instead, now you have an awesome blaster with this added functionality. It's like, okay, we have, 10 Demolishers on a team? Okay, yeah, all of you go bum rush.
Yep.
So I like the design. I love the fact that they put something underneath the barrel. I can't not love that.
Mm-hmm.
The rocket launcher seems really cool. I actually kind of understand why it's integrated and not an attachment. It seems like it would be really hard to get something that powerful. If it's one pump 50 feet, that's pretty damn powerful. So it seems like if they made it detachable, we would just break it. So, Mr. Ash telling me it's going to go to non-AA batteries breaks the hell out of my heart, because that just makes no sense, A, because I'm running Solar Botics on standard AA batteries and they work just fine. They shoot 100 feet. So there's no good reason not to use AA batteries. The motors exist in the world, and I'm sure Hasbro is a big enough company to figure that out. So
yeah,
it is what it is. But the design's cool, and over the Rapid Strike, the one thing I hated about the Rapid Strike, I hated the stock. I did not like the integrated stock at all. And I probably won't run the stock with the missile in it. I'll figure out some other way to carry my missile, but I can run an extendable stock on it.
Yes.
And I really love that. The banana clip, meh.
Oh yeah,
It looked cool.
We
Yeah,
we
cool
didn't
as
mention
crap.
that. It does look really cool. I'm not excited because it only holds 10.
Yeah, I think it looks cool if you wanted to have it as a
Hey!
trophy blaster.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, give me a straight 18 any day of the week or a 25 round drum.
But it might be cool if they're making those available by themselves supposedly because they don't have 12s available on their own. You have to buy blasters, get 12s. You can buy 18s, which is awesome.
Yep.
But if you can buy those by themselves, and they really should work on making some way of carrying them on your person, like in more than just the bandolier, in pouches, in tack vests, because I know some people have mentioned that they have a hard time finding anything that'll hold 18 rounds, or if you do, like you can't put the flap down over it, like it just sticks out.
Mm-hmm.
2 words for you, Josh.
Mm.
Dorm Labs.
Oh yeah, no, we've talked to the Dorm Labs guys, and I actually, have tack gear like that. It's just, I think it might be easier to find stuff that'll fit, because I know that B.F.U runs 12s, and they fit all of like our magazine pouches. He can like put the things over them and actually like Velcro them in place. The 18s, not so much. It's rough. You can find maybe a couple of things, but I think they're expensive because I think Kimball has some.
The 12, it's really hard to acquire 12s.
Yes.
Luckily, I know 2 guys that bought every Alpha Trooper in the Bay Area, so I came up on a few and traded some 18s. I'll take a 10-round banana mag. There's wet blasters. I would put a 10-round banana clip on.
Right. It just doesn't make sense for a full auto, like rapid strike style blaster.
But I would use it on a Strife. You want that AK-40. I mean, listen, I brought a couple new players this year, and one of the guys just loves it because he can build his own blaster.
Right.
Like he was like, oh, this is an AR, this is an AK-40.
Yep.
This is just, I'm like, okay.
Once he gets that elite pinpoint sight, he's gonna be like, I got ACOGs on it. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. So it'll be the most sold blaster this year. Unless this mystery blaster is gonna trump a auto firing a missile, under-barreled machine of 100 feet death. I don't think that anything's gonna outsell this thing this year.
So B.F.U, I'm actually happy you brought that up because one thing we had on our notes today was to talk about the mystery blaster.
Yep.
So apparently at the UK Toy Fair,
London.
Hey, where's London?
In Scotland, right?
Yes.
Really?
Very good.
Uh,
At the London Toy Fair, excuse me, they made a big deal about a new blaster was going to come out, and it sounded like they even had a place out that was just empty, saying like, this is where the mystery blaster would be if we were going to tell you about it. And there was a guy literally standing around like, there's a new blaster coming out. Get hyped about it. It's like, what's it about? I'm not going to tell you. Just know it's coming out. I would want that to be my job. Just hype something, but not tell people what it is. It's like, I got gold. I got snake oil. It'll cure all your woos. It'll make you feel better. I won't tell you what it is, though.
I think someone forgot to bring it on the plane.
Yeah, let's throw Josh's hat in the air and shoot holes in it.
Right?
Mm-hmm. But that said, I mean, to me, if you look at the lines that have come out, we have the Rebelle Agent Bow, we have the Demolisher, which to me is the continuation of the Elite line. Mm-hmm. We have the Slingfire, which is Zombie Strike, and then we have the Thunderbow, which is the Mega series.
Mega Dark.
Yes. So to me, there's 2 lines left that Hasbro still has to cover. They have their Vortex line.
Oh, please, God, no.
Oh, you know they're going to come out with the Vortex blaster. And their Dart tagline. These are the 2 lines left that we haven't seen a blaster announced for yet. So, Ash, my question to you. Do you see the new mystery blaster being from one of these 2 lines, either the Dart tagline or the Vortex line, or do you think it's going to be in one of the other lines that Hasbro has for Nerf?
An interesting thing is that Hasbro said that apparently the UK will no longer be receiving any Vortex blasters anymore.
Wow, that's really interesting to hear.
You can have all ours.
So, after, I mean, with the Centurion, the Rapid Strike, the Ravonics was like the bad brother of the family. No one mentioned it. It hardly, it more or less didn't get any coverage.
Because they should have called it the Roto Slam 360. That was
yeah,
such a good
Slam.
Roto Slam.
Badass name that is. But I mean, you know, it's. I think we will see some kind of Vortex Blaster, whether they're starting to shift Vortex into Zombie Strike. I don't know. That might be something that's happening there. But Dart Tag, I've had a lot of. See, there's a guy on the from Baidu who sends me like emails and stuff of stuff that he's seen at the factories or whatever, and he's a pretty reliable source. And he says that we should get ready for a rebooted Dart Tag range. So I mean, why not release it this year if we can't really see, you know, ahead of anything? I mean, last year they all caught us totally off guard with all the Rebelle stuff. Zombie Strike came out of nowhere. You know, so why not? Why not see a new line come out this year? If it is Dart Tag, oh my gosh. I hope they've ripped out all the internals and given it new stuff. The new Dart tags, the new darts. I hope they're awesome. New vests. They could go the whole hog with this. I hope they do it.
They've already proven they can upgrade the Dart Tag internals because the Power Bell, if I'm not mistaken, was a Dart Tag blaster, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that thing is, and that's what the pink thing hanging up here. That's a Power Bell internal.
Show it to the camera real quick.
Okay. So this is what it looks like when you take a Power Bell apart.
That's the camera.
Sorry. Boom. Blouses.
Yeah, next time we'll...
Broken stuff.
Sick.
This is a Rapid Strike cut down, by the way. So thank you, quick soon retired Coop 772 for the great idea of the mini Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
Power Bell, I bought one I got mine pretty. They're kind of like the Loch Ness Monster of blasters. They're just really scarce and they're hard to find.
Yeah.
Josh and I have seen 3 out in the wild. I bought 2 of them.
Yep.
So the firing mech, while slow, it fires really far.
Mm-hmm.
They did a really good job making it work for elites. So they definitely can up. I would love to see an elite range swarm fire.
Yeah.
I would lose my marbles if I saw an elite range swarm fire because that blaster is super good.
I think everyone would just lose their proverbial if they saw that. I really hope they do. You know, there's so much they could do with Dart Tag, and with that, you know, why wouldn't we see official tournaments back in the States?
That would be nice.
We'll host them. I mean, I think the darts, I know they had the hard part on the dart last time that made it like when they hit you really hard, they would hurt. On the Velcro, they had the hooks on the dart.
Yeah,
right?
they had the
Velcro tips,
side,
yeah.
and then the actual loops were on the vests and stuff.
Maybe they flipped it and
That would
put
be
the
cool.
loops on the vest and the soft part on the dart to make it more. This way, they could increase the power and still make it kind of kid friendly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think the reason they kept the hooks on the dart originally was so it would stick to any material that's kind of loopy.
Yeah, I mean, I could see why they did it. Just I think it probably limited their power.
Yeah, I agree. Because if you hit it too hard, kid's gonna lose an eye and get really scratched in the cornea. That's no good for
Or
Hasbro.
maybe they found some cool way to make plastic stick to plastic.
Ooh, yeah.
Magnets,
Um.
metal in your darts. That's the way to go, kids.
Yeah, you know.
Or not?
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of different things that have been speculated that Nerf could have on the table for the Mystery Blaster.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of talk about having a new belt-fed blaster, right? Like a big version of the Vulcan, but maybe for the Mega line.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of speculation about no, it's going to be an Elite line blaster because there's not really a lot of stuff that everything they've previewed has been for other lines for the most part. It would be cool to kind of see a Dart Tag revision because right now nothing else has really that dart tag's sort of just dead in the water.
Yeah,
Man.
I think the Snapfire 8 is a great blaster that came out not recently, but I think it came out last year.
Hmm.
It's a good blaster. It's great for dual wielding. The trigger's kind of long, so I guess it's hard for some people to actually fire with it.
Right.
But decent blaster. I think the only problem is it doesn't get elite ranges, and that's what you see with a lot of the dart tag blasters. They're not getting elite ranges. If you're talking about pure performance and not trying to stick taggers onto your friends, why use those blasters when there's better performing blasters and you have the clip system or other benefits that you get from the other lines?
Hmm.
So it's great to hear that they're revisiting dart tag, trying to make it a thing again, because I feel like that's one of the safer bets for competitive Nerf. B.F.U, you look like you have something you want to say.
What if?
What if?
We're in Dreamland, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Ash, we're in Dreamland. Are you with us in Dreamland right now?
Me and you'll see.
No.
No, he's not there.
A world of pure imagination.
Mr. Dart.
I don't know.
Oh, we have a question.
Oh.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick. This is from Tanner Reese. Says Nerf released the Zombie Strike N4 sword, which is rad, but when do you think they will relaunch the line with new stuff, and what would you like to see? That is actually an excellent question, because as we mentioned, there are a lot of lines that have been coming out with their own blasters. It's great to see that they're revisiting that N-Strike line, or sorry, the N-Force line.
Yes.
N-Force line is where they came out with foam swords, foam battle axes, little hand claw axes.
All the melee weapons.
All the melee weapons. So I'm really, we'll go back to Dreamland in a second.
That's cool.
But if you go on to My Last Art's channel, he did a podcast that went live yesterday. I have 2 of the Zombie Strike swords in the background. I also have some of the older Vigilante swords as well. I'm really excited because I feel like melee is a big component for HVZ and a lot of other games. What I would like to see from them, there are a lot of different model swords out there that haven't been covered yet. They go with big broadswords, normal swords. You could even do something like a swashbuckler sword. That'd be very fun because I love pirates. They make a Snake Eyes ninja sword for G.I. Joe.
Yep.
That's really cool, and I love it. I was actually the first foam sword I ever bought for HVZ. I would love to see an official katana done by Nerf and maybe have it be a little bit longer but thinner. I don't know structurally how good that would be, but I think depending on how well the Nerf Machete sold and the Zombie Strike Z-Blade sold, I could see them wanting to make a return or at least bring back into production some of these old N-Force swords.
Since you have them, I don't know if you've looked and you could tell me, but the well, first off, is the sword just pretty much like the old swords, right?
It is literally exactly the same, down to the grooves and everything.
Okay, so
it's just recoloration.
So then it was not released by Perpetual Play like the Machete was. Because the Machete was.
I want a Nerf 3-section staff with attachable foam cinder blocks to the ends.
So speaking actually of sort of the N-Force line, I know that there's like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle dojo line that has foam weaponry. I wonder if sort of Nerf is waiting around to sort of see how that stuff does, and if it does well, they're kind of gauging that, and then maybe their Zombie Strike sword. I don't know how well the Machete did because I keep seeing them in Goodwills. I've bought them for like a couple of bucks each. It just seems like because the packaging is the way it is, they're getting destroyed pretty easily. So, I mean, that might just be a factor that we have to take into consideration. But we'll see. It would be cool to have some more stuff come out. I know they've done the like the Wolverine claws, and they had a Thor hammer that came out a while back. Actually, they re-released it for the new Thor movie as well, and made one side blue.
The Dark World.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to answer the original question, yeah, we all would be it would be awesome to get some new weapons. I'd like to see them expand out.
Yeah.
And really go zombie apocalypse like stuff. I want them to put stuff you would put together in a zombie apocalypse.
So like a Nerf baseball
A
bat.
foam hammer.
Foam hammer, baseball bat. I was gonna say chainsaw.
Chainsaw would be neat.
Crowbar.
Ooh,
A
crowbar would be
crowbar.
There you
really
go.
good.
Like it would be cool to see some stuff like fit faux tape together. Like I would like them to take the N-Force line, strictly zombie apocalypse, and just do cool stuff like that.
Mhm.
That would be
That
really
would be
neat.
awesome.
That'd be a great direction. Just get really creative. You can even come up with junk. everyone here, raise your hands if you like the Nerf foam bricks that came out in the Z-bombs.
Yeah, I don't even know why. It's just cool.
It's just fun. It's such a stupid little thing, but it's fun. So I would love to see more of that in there. Another question we got from Russell Stewart. What do you think Hasbro could do with the Vortex line to make it better?
Ooh.
More flywheel blasters.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this I supported Vortex for like a month, right?
You were really going out and promoting it.
Yeah, I brought ammo to the game for everybody to use.
Yeah.
If we fought an indoor war, I would rock the crap out of Vortex.
Mm-hmm.
Outdoors.
So, real quick, for the viewers or listeners who might not know, we added rules for Vortex so that ricochets will count.
Yep.
Just because that's sort of their intended purpose is to ricochet around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, continue. My bad.
I just don't. They fire far. The discs hang in the air real slow. I think the only way to work them is you got to have a few guys running them on each team to get them to be kind of effective, but they're just not as effective as the elite darts. And most of the blasters, with the exception of the really big ones, don't store enough ammo. Like the pistols, I don't know. I had a fuse fire for a minute. It was cool.
For a minute, and
till I
then
tore it
things
apart.
happened.
The discs just are too unpredictable, and they tend to dive off to the sides. I don't. It's just they're not as effective enough for me. Plus, I see a lot of them on the shelves a lot. So I don't think Nerf could figure out how to redesign the disc ammo, make it more consistent, make it travel faster out of the once it gets.
It's interesting you say that, B.F.U. Because I was flicking through Hasbro's patents, and they've released a new patent for Vortex discs, having a slightly heavier coating on the discs. Whether that means the discs go further, faster, or what, I'm not sure what kind of real impact that would have on the disc, but that's interesting you make that point, actually.
I mean, obviously Hasbro could just do the smart thing and make Mega Vortex.
Giant frisbees.
Yes.
Okay,
I
now
want
wait a second.
frisbees,
That's
awesome.
got some legs to it.
Yes.
Go on. I'll hear this. I'll hear this out. Go on.
No, I mean we're talking like this. That would be kind of.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, Josh is onto something. So, Ash, the coating, that actually interests me because if they made them smoother, I wonder if they would fly just a little bit better. I don't think they need to be a lot better. I think they need to be a little bit better and a little more stable. The other thing is you have to be really good with the blaster to use it because you have to keep your plane flat when you're aiming it, or else the disc just dives to one side or the other.
Yeah.
So, finding a way to make them stabilize better in air would be cool too. But I'm glad to see they're working on it. I was so juiced for Vortex for like a minute, and it just didn't. We got crushed using the Vortex, but we got absolutely crushed using them.
I think it's like any blaster, like with Zing, Vortex. It's good if one or two people run it as like a support function.
Yep.
Not necessarily a whole team.
Yeah.
Because then the weaknesses of the blaster just get highlighted so much more.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then one more question. Real quick before I continue with questions, thank you, Ash, for asking these questions and bringing them up.
Yeah.
I'm still getting used to the setup and everything, so he's just being a champ and helping us out a lot, so I do appreciate that. Just wanted to give you a shout out real quick.
No, it's great everyone's like getting like really, it's like cool, it's all interactive. Yeah.
No, I'm digging it. Thank you again.
Oh yeah.
But the next question is from Peter Fisher. As an American, I'm concerned with the Slingfire having no orange tip. Have the laws changed?
So I saw this question. It was preemptively trying to bring up a picture of the Slingfire because I was like, what is he talking about? I remember having an orange tip. It does have an orange tip.
A lot of American fans I've read have noted the tip not being there, or it's not prominent enough.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the image color, it's not clear enough, the resolution's not deep enough. But I mean, I'm not American, I can't tell you. Has Obama done something to the gun laws?
No.
Nope.
No, I think the orange. I think in the picture the orange came up like a hammer shot muted orange.
Yeah, it is
that they
definitely
use on
there.
the shell. I'm sure by the time it hits the States, it'll be bright orange.
Yeah.
I think every blaster has no. You know what? Not every blaster Hasbro release has had an orange tip, if I'm not mistaken.
What has it?
Um,
I'm looking at the wall right now. It's
so
like,
I was
where
looking
is
at the
it?
wall and I was thinking the Rebelle line has a lot of pink,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
the orange.
so on the Sweet Revenge, it has a little tiny bit of orange. It's not actually on the.
The whole bar is orange.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
it's the
And it
orange
goes-
bar at the bottom.
Technically goes to the tip.
The bow
That's orange.
has orange on it.
Yep.
But the oh, that has orange at the tip
Orange.
right there.
Yep. And
Yeah.
they
So
all have an orange tip.
They all have a little bit of orange on it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. That's everything.
Even the Guardian crossbow had an orange cap on it.
Yeah, it has a cap on the tip. There's just a little bit here and there. So
But I mean, honestly, pink orange should be interchangeable. If I have a bright pink barrel, you should probably not think I have a real gun.
yeah.
Just throw it out
Yes.
there. Law enforcement.
Actually, I used to think that, bright barrel, bright pink, bright yellow, whatever, it's got to be a toy gun. But there's this show I can't remember if it's called Red Jacket.
Oh yeah. You're talking
Red
about
Jacket. It's
Sons of
the
Gun.
gun shop where they
Yeah.
have the daughter,
Yep. That's Sons of Guns.
and
Jeez.
she was like, "Oh, we haven't got any female customers," so she got the guy to literally spray paint. I don't know what it was. It was a semi-automatic something, and she got him to spray it white, and then add pink accents.
Yep.
And in the grip, the butt of the grip,
Mhm.
you could put like your lipstick in there.
Yeah, they actually.
So that totally throws out the whole thing. As long as it's bright colors, it shouldn't be real.
Yeah, see, I don't have that misconception at all because I used to do airsoft, and I mean I've been part of debates, on writing my senators being like, no, trying to keep the sport from being banned. The orange tips, it is what it is, but in reality, you can spray paint a real gun any colors, and they actually make real guns in these colors. There are like places that you can buy them without having to spray paint them. You can buy an all pink gun, you can buy an all orange gun.
Josh
So-
knows the guy.
I do know a lot of people. So it's one thing if it's a really out there, crazy looking, you can barely even tell if it's a gun, like the old Max Force stuff, where there were animals and things like that. Like, oh, it's a scorpion that shoots a dart out of its tail. Like, yeah, if they didn't make the tail orange, I could understand.
Please drop the scorpion.
Yeah, exactly.
Put the scorpion down, sir.
But everything else, I'm like, I get it, whatever. I mean, even the orange tip isn't going to guarantee. If somebody tells you to put your weapon down,
Just drop it.
just drop your weapon.
Just drop
Yeah,
it.
just don't
Don't
take a
point it
chance.
at them and see, like, look at the tip.
Yeah, like, no, look, this is a Nerf gun. Let me point it at you.
Oh, is it hard to
prove
see?
it.
Let me get closer to you real quick.
Yeah,
Or
that's
just be guilty like me if you see Johnny Law, just drop it immediately.
Yeah. he assumes a position. He
Yeah.
gets up. He puts his hands behind his head.
Oh. Okay, so next question is from Caroline B. Do you think we will get Rebelle arrow pouches? It's great to see us. It's great Nerf sees us girls finally. So yeah,
Alright.
it's great that girls are being recognized in Nerf and are seen as valuable because honestly, plenty of girls kick my butt in games. So it's great to say like, hey, here's more blasters that work well for you guys. As far as the arrow pouch thing, absolutely. I think accessories are very much in tune for the Rebelle line and coming over to the other lines as well. If Hasbro doesn't directly come up with a pouch like they did for the dart pouch they've already made for the Rebelle line females, I could see Perpetual Play stepping up and making a pouch for the arrows. They've done it for a bunch of other blasters and niche blasters. Well, not
Yep.
niche, but very specific blasters.
Right.
I could see them making an arrow pouch very easily. If not, just a little tip for what I do with my Zing bows right now, my Zing arrows, is you can get like a drawstring gym bag, like a little tote that you get for free when you go to events or something like that. Cut 2 holes in it, strap it onto your belts. It works great. All the arrows for Zing hold together really well because the weight just brings them all together, and they're like plastic and rubbery, so they don't move a lot. I imagine that the Nerf arrows are going to be a little bit similar to that, so you can probably just get a big pouch and put them on your side. If not, Hasbro, that's the design you need to do. That's it. So go make that.
Yeah, it would be really cool to see a Nerf quiver. I would be down. That's just me.
Hook it up, Dorm Labs. Get on that.
Yep,
Ooh.
figure it out.
That's
Oh.
gonna be. I think you gotta look outside the box when you're trying to come up with a quiver, because a real steel quiver or real world quiver is not gonna work for.
It will not. I actually have a real quiver that I got for a collector's edition of Lord of the Rings video game. It's realistic.
Okay.
Yeah, as a piece of cardboard with faux leather in a circle.
Yeah.
I have the same one.
Beautiful full leather. But that said, Dorm Labs, if you're listening, I went to Army Surplus Store and bought a radio bag and cut out the middle just to make it work. It works really well, actually, and you get cool camo colors. So look into that. Figure it out for us.
Yeah, I agree. Do it, Nerf. Do it,
Yeah,
Rockapella.
accessories. I feel like Hasbro is finally starting to understand that. Another thing that I can't remember if Ash, you announced it or if it was on another blog, but it sounds like they are focusing on more tactical rail accessories for Nerf and the various lines. It sounds like we could see 3 or 4 sites actually come out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently we should be seeing sites for Dart Tag,
Mm-hmm.
Rebelle, Mega, Zombie Strike, and Elite. So I don't know if they're just going to keep recycling the same design in different colors, or if they will be, unique to the range. Like we had the scopes with, forgive me if I'm wrong, was it the Praxis and the Nitron? They came with their own scopes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those. It's a cool little. It looks nice enough when it's on a Vortex blaster. Not so much when you throw it on a End Strike or an Elite blaster or a Rebel blaster.
It might
It's
look
just
better on some of the Zombie Strike stuff because they got that green now.
Cool on the
True.
crossbow.
crossbow. Well, it's got matching
Yeah.
colors for that. Well, Zombie Strike goes with everything.
That's true too.
Yeah.
So what we're hearing is we're not gonna get any Elite Blue accessories because by the time they start bringing accessories out, they're gonna be white and or orange.
Yep. Creamsicle sights.
Darn.
But I see a lot of fans rocking Magpul stuff. I mean, where is that stuff from? Is it just in Asia or is it in the States as well? Who are Magpul?
It is a thing. So Magpul actually makes real steel gun accessories, and they're best known for basically for AR magazines. There is something that you can put at the end that has a loop on it, so you can easily pull it out. Hence the name of the company, Magpul.
Yeah.
Run by Chris Costa and another fellow whose name I can't remember right now.
Real Steel is also known for the movie that came out with Hugh Jackman a couple years ago with robots fighting each other.
Yes, which translates back to Nerf because they're Wolverine.
Oh yeah, Real
Yes.
Steel.
I love that move. Dancing Robot.
I hate you so much.
Punch, 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 punch.
Yeah, you keep at it, Justin Bieber.
Yes.
Great question, Caroline.
Yes, thank you.
Great question.
So,
Yes.
a question to you guys. At the UK Toy Fair, the Zombie Strike Crossfire was voted Toy of the Year.
What?
Excuse me?
Yeah, the Crossfire was voted Toy of the Year. Did
Yeah.
you see that coming?
No, not at all.
What?
Are we sure we aren't talking about the old board game Crossfire?
No, I
You
saw it.
get caught
I'm
up
pretty
in the
sure.
Crossfire.
Nerf Zombie Strike Crossfire was actually
Yep.
one of 39 toys that won 2014 Toy of the Year.
I feel like the same people that vote for the Baseball Hall of Fame vote for these blasters. It doesn't have any rhyme or reason. It makes absolutely no sense.
I would agree with that.
I think it's just basically a parent asks a bunch of other parents, what toys did your kids like? And like, oh, this one popped up twice, making the list.
I don't think kids like the.
Well, don't say kids will like whatever you give them for
That's
the most
funny, 'cause
part.
I saw a kid at Target. I saw a kid at Target the other day. Like, Mom, don't buy me that. Give me that Magnus.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, kids are getting picky. I was just happy to get anything when I was little. It's like,
Yeah.
I have Legos. Let me build things.
I'm just saying. The kid was like, Mom, it's cheaper, and this is better. Kids watch YouTube. They're on YouTube.
Yeah.
They know how that blaster is horrible. It is the dumbest priming mech they have come out with in the last 2 years. It could have been awesome had they just shotgun grip the Prime.
Mm.
But I don't know who in R&D. You know what? I'm not even gonna. I'm remaining positive in 2014.
RTE.
I'm not gonna lose my stuff and tell you what it is.
So I think that what parents think children will like and what kids actually like are not always the same thing. I mean, this is a panel of people, voting on stuff that they don't actually play with. They're just like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Kids might like that.
I want to see this. You know what, panel? Why don't you rate, comment, subscribe, and message us? How about that, panel?
Yes. I was actually, on Ash's podcast we did yesterday, Shining Foam was talking about how he was looking at his analytics, and it is a lot of adults, 30 and up, who are watching his channel. I looked at our analytics. A lot of our traffic is adults as well. So I think they are going on YouTube and watching videos and trying to figure out what kids will like and not like. That said, how did the Crossfire make that list then? Because I don't think I've seen a single person be like, this is outstanding. Get it for your kids. Or even saying, like, it's all right. I won't throw it away.
Basically, the panel is a group of independent toy retailers in the UK. So they all pretty much sat down and voted what they thought was.
No, that makes sense.
No, I know where you're going with
this.
this.
So many left on the shelves. They're like, if we vote this toy of the year, we might sell some.
There we go.
That absolutely makes sense now. That's all marketing tactics. Like, oh my God, we bought 10,000 Crossfires and nobody wants this thing. What do we do?
Put it number 1 on the list. Everyone will go buy it for their kids. It worked with Tickle Me Elmo. We can do it again.
Oh my God, that just made so much more sense. Okay. No, we're cool. We're cool. I'm calm.
Actually, I don't know if you guys saw the somehow completely lost in translation. The English to Chinese translation for the Mega Thunderbow is a household vacuum cleaner.
I remember you telling me about this.
So are we going to see like loads of kids in Asia going, Mom, Dad, I want a household vacuum cleaner?
Yes, Junior, you'll finally start cleaning the house. You're doing us pride.
It's going to make children's happy.
Makes more sense than the Crossfire Bow being the number 1 toy.
So, hey guys, I want to get your thoughts on the whole Coop 772 having bowed out, as NMR did as well recently.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really surprising to hear. We've seen a lot of bloggers, YouTube personalities related to Nerf just dropping off the radar lately, and it's, to me, with hobbies, I'm never like specifically I'm getting out of it. For example, I used to play the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game pretty seriously. I was a judge. I would go to regionals and judge them. I would play in my free time. And it was never, I never made a conscious decision. I haven't played in like 2 or 3 years. There was never a conscious decision where I said, I'm quitting the game, never again. I maybe will sell a lot of my cards.
But you didn't have people you had to answer to, like fans and stuff.
That's true. Like, I guess there is some social obligation to say, hey, I know fans want a certain amount out of me, and if I just stop, I'll feel bad about that. So being able to say to them, I'm getting out of the game, that is an excellent point. Yeah, that is something.
He took a lot of unnecessary. So, Coop is a fantastic modder. I think he did a lot of things that inspire. I know a lot of the stuff I do is inspired by what he does.
I would say he was probably one of the most prominent modders in the community. Like, maybe that's a bold statement to say, but I feel like he's one of the most well-known for cosmetic mods and just having a high quality and high level of work.
Yeah, there's a lot of heat on the website with the red in its name about the video being too long, and he could have been 5 minutes, and then he didn't script himself. I'm like, really, guys? Dude just got out of the hobby. He wanted to say goodbye to his people. He had a air of smugness to him, but I think that happens when you're a young man and you're given some semi kind of fame stuff. We see it happen with athletes all the time, right? So
just look at Josh. He's been like thinking he's the hottest guy in the world ever since we started the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, strutting around like town, picking up on ladies.
So I think the community is going to be worse for it in the short term, but in the long term, it'll give people a chance to step up and fill that void. And you guys have only been in the hobby, Shosh and Shawn, for 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So thereabouts.
yeah, so I've been in for a year, and I'd say if I had to move across the country for like work, I wouldn't do the hobby anymore. I wouldn't do it if I wasn't hanging out with you guys and playing with my play group and stuff
Aw.
like that. So
That's true.
I think that happens a lot to people. Maybe he just won't have the time, or he got a real job, and short term, really
Yeah.
sad. Long term, just give someone else a chance to step up and fill that void.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like you said, the whole moving thing. Mike from Tactical Tag, he moved house. Not recently, but when he did it, his whole blogging thing came to pretty much a standstill for a while. He
Mhm.
got himself sorted and established again. So, real life is tough. I mean, I was speaking to Boba Lolo actually the other day, and he mentioned that Drac is kind of bowing out as well.
Right.
So, it's real sort of like, I think he's graduated, getting a job, got a job. So, but also he's pretty big into Magic the Gathering, and he's doing really well at those tournaments. So, I guess to quote Rob's article, are we losing our Nerf generals?
So I mean, look at it this way: it's like a changing the guard. So these are all young guys; they're just graduating college, so they're going to go into real life. And if you look at like like this group that's on this podcast right now, I'd say we're all a little older. Me probably being super old. So,
I thought Josh was the oldest.
oh, not even close.
It's just the beard.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm almost a decade older than these guys. So,
Whoa. Really?
close. Yeah, it's like 7-8 years. Almost a decade.
That is almost. If you
Like
use
6.
rounding,
No, I'm 30. I'm
Oh.
not gonna say how old I am.
yes.
I'm almost okay.
So, anyways, I'm
You're like a decade older than
B.F.U.
Shawn.
almost has a decade on. We're only a year apart, so it's not a huge difference.
Anyways.
I thought we were 2.
No.
Anyways, besides these two
two
knuckleheads
grades
getting
apart.
sidetracked, I'm significantly older than them. And it actually was a benefit for me to get into the hobby because I have means to go absolutely crazy and dive right in. So I think you might see these guys in 5 or 6, 7 years jump back in because they'll have houses and spaces and money to do all these things. They're just going to go make their way in the world. So congratulations to them, first of all, both of them for graduating and starting their adult life. And we'll see you back in about 5 or 6 years when you get settled down and get your things together. You coming back, you are.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope a bunch of people come back in the hobby.
That said, addressing Rob's article, are we losing our Nerf generals? I see it more as a changing of the guard. Especially with you, Ash, all the work you've been putting in the community lately, there's almost been like a rallying call for all the remaining bloggers out there, all the new bloggers, everyone who's excited about the sport, saying, hey, there are some pretty big shoes to fill right now. We're not asking you to do that, but be motivated, be excited. Shining Foam was talking about this yesterday, and I loved it. Just motivating people out there who love the sport to become content creators like what we do. Go out there, make videos, start wars, improve the quality of the product you put out there. Get excited about it. And that said, it leaves room for us to even go further than people like Drac and Coop, what they were doing. I know there's a lot of brilliant modders out there who do great work. And I'm waiting to see who's going to be the next big superstar, who's going to be the one who really draws attention to the community and could potentially even do better than Coop. And when I say this, by no means do I mean any disrespect for Coop. I think he was one of the top people of the game as far as modding and quality. He was a craftsman. But I think a new generation is going to come in with new blasters, and I am so excited to see what these people can do.
Definitely. I think we saw a lot of the people who were really heavy into the modding scene and really into Nerf when Nerf was getting really terrible ranges, and we're seeing a lot more blogs that are just focusing on some stock stuff and like lighter modding with less hardcore and like completely homemade blasters. We're just seeing that sort of because now we're able to get 100 feet. When we were all getting 100 feet on elite darts, it changes the stock game a lot.
And you never know. This could be the era where people focus on the gameplay more than the modding.
Right.
Being new to this, going back and doing some research, it was a lot of modding, getting blasters better, This could be the era, and I don't see a ton of stuff on gameplay, how to run a game, what are the basics of running a game. There's definitely a lot more on modding. Could be a change. Hasbro's stepping up. They're making things a lot better where may not have to mod stuff. You may see focus on gameplay, which would be freaking awesome. Seeing what different people do, having ideas of how to run games.
Agreed.
What do you think, Ash?
I think you said it right. There's a lot of people, that sort of finding their way up. I mean, when Pocket, he kind of quit. There's no one that's going to replace Pocket. He was so awesome, so unique. And it wouldn't have been fair for him to hand it down to another author, because that author would have been living in his shadow. Nothing that author could have done would have been as good as Pocket. So I'm glad he didn't do that. I hope he returns once he gets, everything sorted, or for whatever reason he had to bow out. And same thing with Coop. He's gone. Hopefully, like B.F.U said, in a couple of years when they're settled and stuff, it would be so awesome to just see, hey, I'm back kind of thing.
Yes.
Everyone would be so happy to see him back. But there is a lot of fresh talent happening right now, and I hope those guys, sort of come forward and start putting out quality videos, quality guides, new mods that no one else is doing, and just think of innovation. Whether you're like a blogger who just does like news and art, sort of stuff like that, reviews, or if you're a modder, you're doing crazy stuff. The hobby needs you, and I hope people do step up. We're not looking for you to replace like Coop or whatever, or Pocket, but really sort of kind of come into your own and become sort of a big name in the Nick.
Definitely.
No, I agree with what you said, and also to B.F.U's point, I think we're going to see a new generation of personalities coming forward in the Nerf online community and changing what the community is and what it means to be a Nerfer in the world. That's what I expect to see. Just there's going to be radical changes in the attitude people have towards the game and towards modding and everything. And I look forward to that. I think that's going to be really interesting to see what comes out of this new generation.
Yeah, completely. I'm with you on that 100%. So I want to get your thoughts on a couple of rumors that are flying around now. Apparently, one of the projects that's floating around and that is rumored to be released is the Phantom Blaster. Not quite sure where that sits, but apparently the Retaliator was codenamed Phantom. So could we possibly see a reboot of the Retaliator?
I mean, I don't see why not. We got it all rebooted the first time they did an Elite line, and they were getting new ranges. So we could just see reboots with the new, 100-foot ranges. That being said, I kind of hope not. I would be really cool if we got some new blasters and didn't just get reshells really quick right after we just got reshells of those exact blasters.
Actual reshells.
Actual reshells, not supposed reshells.
Yeah. I mean, also, I'm not a huge fan of the priming mech on it, but...
Not for that kind of blaster.
No, I still don't. I mean, it's...
Because the priming mech's the same as it is on the...
On the Retaliator?
No, this one, right?
The Side Strike?
Yeah, same thing.
No.
Nope.
It's similar, but it doesn't feel the same.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it has a magazine and it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah. I think this works. That. Oh shoot! Sorry, that was loaded.
You need to
This is
chill
why we don't play with
out.
real fire.
You are never coming to a gun range.
So yeah. Here. Yeah. So
Throw blasters in people's laps, kids.
I mean,
Always
honestly,
a good idea.
the code names, they probably recycle the code names over and over again. Phantom sounds like a sniper rifle. I know there's no sniping in Nerf. I get it. No sniping in Nerf. But it would be cool, 100-foot range on maybe a modular sniper rifle. Maybe like
Yeah.
you get like a base blaster, like similar to Retaliator, and you get the whole kit that makes it like a sniper rifle or something like that. That would be neat. I would like some new barrels and stuff like that.
We
That would be cool.
we need a Nerf sniper rifle because right now the elite line has happened. There's no sniper rifles other than the
God, just
Centurion.
bring back the long shot.
I was actually really surprised that they didn't re-release the long shot in the elite line
Why
with
not
direct
a long
plunger.
strike with a direct plunger?
Or either or.
That's point number 2.
Or I'm sorry,
That's
I meant
fine.
long strike.
Yeah, the long strike looks way more like a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
I was just saying long shot because the internals are already direct
Yeah,
plunger.
I don't.
They'll release a sniper rifle. People will buy it.
It's
It'll be-
funny. I've always hated the ergonomics on the long shot.
I do too.
It's incredibly uncomfortable
I
to
would
use.
like to see a different prime than this crap. If you're gonna do this, give me a bolt prime.
Right.
If you're gonna go with the 2-sided, give me a bolt. I
That
know
would
it's
be
gotta
really,
be lefty,
really
righty.
cool.
I get it. Get a bolt that flips both ways or something like that. That
Well,
would
the
be cool.
problem is now, would Hasbro release a blaster that is a sniper rifle for elite darts that would potentially cannibalize the business they'd be getting off of the Centurion?
Yes. What business?
Yeah, I was like,
Like, that's the thing. Is Hasbro ready to admit that the Centurion is dead in the water and
Oh.
come out with this new sniper rifle to be like, you know what? Yeah, don't even bother with that one. We came out with a new one. Please buy that one.
Obviously not, because it's gonna be coming out for $15 more in ice blue.
oh yeah, there is
Yeah.
the Sonic Ice series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think they're different enough to where it's not a big deal. Like if you have a Mega Blaster and you have a regular version of the blaster, they're A, so different that it would make sense, and B, I gotta wonder what they're really gonna start doing with the Mega Darts. I feel like the Mega line has to step up its game because if we're getting 100 feet out of elites, what's the point of buying Mega?
What? So follow me. This. It's Phantom, right? Kinda
Yes.
Mysterious. Can't
Yeah,
see.
I'm hoping it's purple.
What if
Or
it's
a
like
bad movie.
What if it's like an updated design concept on the deploy,
Uh,
like a transforming blaster? Not the deploy, but something like that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yo, Ash. Oh, you waved.
Actually, a while ago, I was speaking to Hasbro, and they said that the deploy was up for an elite makeover.
Ooh.
I'm like Nostradamus of Nerf.
Nerfstradamus.
I could.
So here's the thing. Everybody
Typically,
hates on the deploy, right?
Blaster was released. Well, typically before a Blaster was released, it's been in the works for a good 2 or 3 years in development. So
Right.
everything we're kind of seeing now is 3 years old.
Right. I was just gonna say that the deploy, while we all
Well, I
sort of make fun of it in the Nerf community, we're like, yeah, the deploy, oh, it sucks. But you know what? I think they must have sold a lot of units because I always see them
Yeah,
at
I
Goodwill.
think conceptually the deploy is awesome. You press a button, the blaster transforms.
It's perfect for kids.
For kids, that's just conceptually that just makes a metric ton of sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's under barrel prime, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they were to come out with that, it would be. I think it would be neat, especially if it was like a shotgun style.
Honestly, my biggest qualm with it was just the handle felt really flimsy and like it was gonna break. Other than that,
Yeah.
I could forgive it for being boxy and bulky because I understood
Yeah.
what its appeal was, and I thought it was fun enough. And since you can put, magazines in it, it's really like, well, just as tactical as running most other blasters. But you have a cool.
I just wish it transformed into something cooler because the deploy is just like a giant flashlight when it's in its like speed mode, I guess.
So it's supposed to be like a version of a actual gun that looks like it's in a tiny. It basically transforms into a tiny little box. So it almost looks like a large PDA or anything like that. It would be cool if they just gave it more of a briefcase look. We made it kind of like a briefcase gun.
I would like it if it was front loading.
Yeah.
You could preload the front before you transform it, and then collapse everything. So when you pop it out, you don't need to put a clip in there, and it's like fully functional, like Guardian crossbow style, for all front load. Boom, hit the button, and you have like a shotgun style blaster. I think that'd be sick, like a box shotgun.
I'd be down for that.
Or load it more like the Magnus, have an internal
Or that
magazine, and
Yeah.
there you go.
I'd be good with that.
That would be cool.
So another rumor that's been about is the Nerf Elite Ranger 1. So basically all we have right now is just the name on this guy, the Ranger
Nero?
1.
Nerf Elite Ranger 1.
Yes.
Nero.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess.
Is Nero a thing besides an old emperor of Rome, or
Nope. Yeah, it's a burning software.
it is also a burning software for CDs?
That
was the first thing I thought of.
A foam flamethrower.
Oh man, if they made a Nerf flamethrower.
Just spews out small scraps of foam darts that got chewed up over time.
Oh, so they made that. It's called a Centurion.
I hate you. I hate you so much, Josh.
All the rage. Okay.
I hate you so much.
So this name, Ranger 1, I was thinking about this yesterday. To me, a lot of the elements of the name inspire Alpha Trooper, because Alpha is first and Trooper is like a type of soldier. So Ranger, type of soldier, 1, first thing in order, just like with Alpha. So are we talking about a new type of Alpha Trooper? Is this going to be the new workhorse that Nerf comes out with? I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? Just based on the name alone, what would you think?
It would be cool to get an Alpha Trooper that is stock firing 100 feet.
I think I would be happy with
I
that.
would be really happy with that, even if it was called the Ranger 1.
I'm okay with Ranger 1.
Yeah, that's fine.
I didn't get my Omega Trooper, so I'll live.
That's true.
It's gonna be a Rampage with a shotgun style grip. That's what I'm going with.
A Rampage with a shot. That could be a thing.
I'll give you that.
People really like the Rampage online.
Mhm.
I'm not a huge fan, but
I actually want to grab another one now so I can buy the cheap shotgun style grip from Blaster, Dorm Labs.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah.
Because people keep telling me how awesome the Rampage
I
is.
think, giving it a little more thought and thinking on it, the Phantom, it sounds quite stealthy. So either it might be a pistol or stealth sniper. Maybe it's the long shot rebooted. Like everyone loves that blaster. The whole aesthetics, perhaps with the orange. Well, if it is elite, then 100 feet on that would be justified. Ranger 1 sounds very frontline to me, so I'm thinking maybe Alpha Trooper rebooted, or how we see the Demolisher with the grenade launcher integration, something like that maybe.
That would be pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Full auto or something with a different accessory. I don't know.
Phantom actually reminds me of Spectre, and the Spectre had that faux barrel that kind of looked like a silencer. So I just kind of got that in my head, like a little tiny pistol. It's supposed to be quick and quiet.
Nerf, Hasbro, look into my eyes. Right now.
That's
Make a pistol. Stealthy or not. And it doesn't use the hammer style prime, I will burn your entire company down. Just letting you know that now. That's official. That's like almost a thinly veiled threat.
I think it's more than thinly veiled. Look, I'm not saying anything bad will happen. I'll come burn down your building.
Okay, so hold on. Let me ask everybody. Does anybody want a pistol that doesn't have the hammer style prime? Or are we pretty all in agreement that going forward we'd like to see a few more of those?
I would love to see more.
I would love to see more too.
Ash?
I would love to see more of those for sure.
All right.
I
here
think
you go.
I think
Boom.
we need more diversity, and that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I did like the Side Strike. It's a single shot, because it does have 1 in the title, right? The Ranger 1.
Yep.
Like, well, maybe it's only a single shot blaster that's going to do something crazy or be stupid.
No, I agree with Ash. I think it conjures up a lot of imagery of frontline soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Phantom it's either got to be frontline or it's got to be something incredibly stealthy like a sniper rifle or something like that.
Or even something like the deploy, where like, oh, you don't know what it is. Oh, it came
Right.
out of nowhere. Ooh.
That stealth factor. Secret shot, baby.
I feel like you should write Nerf's commercials.
Ooh, I am the ghost of deploys past. I am your old business partner, Nerf. I am here to warn you of the dangers of continuing with the
Josh, make it
vortex
stop.
line.
Josh, make it stop.
All right. How long? Oh, you know what?
A while. We need to start wrapping it up.
Well, first, we have a Reddit rant this week.
We got a lot of rage.
I don't know if that's a rant.
Oh, what happened?
Like a small pit bull.
Hey, Reddit. I just want to holler at you for a minute. Everything is not a reshell just because it has flywheels. This is going out to a very minority group of folks. The Demolisher is not a reshell. The batteries are in a different place. They're obviously using different motors. And it's got a freaking grenade launcher stuck on the bottom of it. That constitutes not a reshell. Not everything with flywheels is a strife. Seriously. Get with the program. That's it.
Yeah.
Very good.
That wasn't smooth jazz this time. I really got bent out of shape about that.
You
And
did.
it was like 2 posts. I don't know why I thought it was more than 2 posts. I got really bent out of shape.
Yeah, he was telling me like, why is everybody saying it's a reshell? I'm like 2 people said it's a reshell. The rest of everybody else is like, this is such a cool new blaster.
You know what gets me upset? It's like someone has to dissent just for the sake of dissenting. Like that has to happen. Like you have to disagree for the sake of disagreement. It doesn't make sense. Like sometimes it's like, no, this is really good. We can all agree it's really good. But no, just someone it's like I'm going back to the Baseball Hall of Fame. No one ever gets voted in unanimously, no matter how great they are, because there's actually a writer that has gone on record saying, I will not vote for someone just so no one gets in unanimously.
Yeah, you know.
Really?
Damn bit. Yeah, it doesn't make not a damn bit of sense.
Crazy.
Just lunacy. So, anyways, that was right around.
Yes.
It's a walk off.
Josh, we covered news. Is there anything else we really need to touch on? I think basically the biggest thing was just the news for the fall line blasters.
Yeah, we got to give a shout out.
Oh.
Yeah, B.F.U. Lay it down, brother.
I want to shout out to my man John from Savers. You recognized me and Josh based on our voices from Nerfcast, and that was really funny.
It was really awesome.
And it was cool chatting with you, and we hope to see you at a couple of the games this year. That would be kind of sick if you showed up to the game. So shout out to John from Savers.
Yeah, thanks for listening enough to recognize us.
You know, Shining Foam gets a bunch of compliments about how handsome he is. You guys get recognized in the streets. I'm just sitting here on the couch, dressed as a lumberjack.
That was got to be the oddest thing that's happened to me in the last 2 years.
It was
that
pretty
really
awesome.
Was strange.
I was laughing. He was just like, that's so weird. Because, so we walked into Savers, and we saw somebody looking at Nerf guns, Nerf blasters, and we were like, oh, this guy, he's going to get a Stampede? Like, we walked by him, he's looking at us, and I was like, maybe he's one of our buddies, like Chris James. Maybe he's one of his friends, and he saw us in his video while they were editing it or something. And he just recognizes us, but he doesn't remember where. And then he's like, you guys from Nerfcast? And we're like, oh, my gosh.
He was like, you're B.F.U, aren't you? I'm like,
oh.
How did you know that?
I lost it.
He's like, your voice.
I was like, yes, that's like, so awesome.
I didn't know my voice was that weird, but okay, thank you.
It's like B.F.U's like, wait, we've been uploading these to the internet?
He was like, oh.
I didn't know my voice sounded like enough to where people could pick it out from other people's voices. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you guys can do T-shirts and stuff then, or?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Start our own clothing line.
Yep. There'll be a couple big Nerf brands. Adult fans of Nerf have their T-shirt line. We'll have ours. We'll be like the Lacoste of Nerf.
Yeah, it's better than being the Abercrombie of Nerf. Oh no, Shining Foam can get on that. The girls like Shining Foam.
We can take some black and white photos of him without a shirt on.
We can be like the fat farmer.
We'll
surfboard.
Yeah, we'll be the big and tall of Nerf.
I wanted to be the men's warehouse of Nerf, man.
You're gonna like the way you look.
I guarantee it.
Yes.
I guarantee it.
As long as we're not the hot topic of Nerf.
That's, you know.
Shawn in a half shirt is not what I want to see.
Wearing Adventure Time clothes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
This went to a bad place quickly.
Yeah. Other than that, Ash, you got any final thoughts you want to get out there? Any news? Anything you want to promote about your blog that you got going on that's exciting?
Well, I've got an international giveaway right now for 5 Rapid Strikes.
Woo!
So all you simply need to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and just holler, I'm in it to win it. I will be picking winners at the end of March. So
Very
that's going good. Anything else? Hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be interviewing Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl from The
Nice.
Walking Dead.
awesome.
You serious?
Yeah. Yeah, him and Andrew Lincoln, the guy who plays Rick, they went to. I got sent some photos from Singapore. They went to like
into
a
Psych, I
college there, and yeah, they had the guys running around with the zombie strike stuff. So I
That's
got
so
in touch with his agent, and I said, "Hey, love to interview him." They said, "Send over some stats." So I sent over some stats. And they're like, "Cool, we'll be in touch." And I was like, "Whoa!"
That's awesome.
So
Definitely, maybe. It's looking good.
That's super awesome. So everybody hit up My Last Darts blog.
Website, it's mylaststart.com.
Yep.
So go on there, keep your eyes peeled, keep giving him hits, because the more views he gets, the more he's able to pull in these awesome celebrities and get interviews and talk about Nerf.
Exactly.
So support this man right here. He is bringing Nerf into the spotlight.
For real.
We all need to support each other.
There
Yes.
we go.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Dude, well, thanks for being on. Always great to have you.
Nice meeting you, by the way. You the man, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, so B.F.U, any final thoughts?
Let's see. Final thoughts. No, I think we had said all that needed to be said today. Thanks again, Ash, for coming on. Mad
Yep.
cool. Love the accent, by the way.
Mhm.
And keep it saucy on the bald head, man. We gotta stick together with that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Josh, you got anything for us?
No, I think we were good. We all covered everything. It was a lot of fun. It's good to have you back, not just here on the podcast, but in general, Ash. It's super great to have your blog back up and
Thank
going
you.
and being able to check it. Glad everything went okay. We were worried there for a minute.
Mhm.
You weren't coming on the Skype. Oh.
I mean, honestly, Ash, I can't say enough nice things about you. I talk to you daily when you're on Skype, and it's always a pleasure just to, like, chew the fat with you, talk about Nerf. Nobody knows more about Nerf than this man right here, in my opinion. He's got his fingers on the pulse of the community.
Mhm.
So always check him out. It's a pleasure to have you back on the show again. Hopefully we do this more often. I think
Yeah,
I can
can't wait.
speak for I think I can speak for all of us. We're really excited to have finally video working in here, having a means to bring on hosts and not worry about how the audio records and having it sound really bad.
Mhm.
So I think we're all really excited going forward.
If you're watching this either before or after, let us know what you think of the setup of the cameras. You think we should have cameras different places?
Vote for best looking.
Let us know if you guys would like to do more stuff like this and be interactive, because we really enjoyed having the questions coming on and being able to read them and interact with you guys. So let us know what you guys think. We'll try to maybe get it down to where we say when we're going to be recording ahead of time and let everyone know so you can jump on.
And get a better science on it too, because once again, Ash was helping out a lot with reading the questions from Facebook. I need to get used to this format a little bit more, so I know where to read for questions and to get everyone up and running. So I got to do my job as a little stage manager for the podcast a little bit better, so we'll have that worked out next time. But other than that, once again, Ash, thank you for being on the show. We look forward to having you and other guests on in the future, because if this sounds good, we got a huge backlog of people I want on this show.
Yeah.
That I want back on this show. I want new people. I'm going to invite the whole Partridge family. We're going to give each of them a face cam. I got plans.
Yeah.
But that said, thank you everyone for joining us. From everyone here at Nerfcast, this is Shawn.
This is Josh.
And BFG.
Happy
tagging.
tagging.
Yay!